The order, please, the roll call.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Legislator Frost,
Here.
Legislator Calamus,
Here.
Legislator Mosier,
Here.
Legislator Leindecker,
Here.
Legislator Nortz,
Here.
Legislator Moorhan,
Here.
Legislator Leviker,
Here.
Legislator Osborne,
Here.
Legislator Nellenbach,
Here.
and Legislator Dahlhoff.
Here. Would everyone please stand for the invocation and the pledge of allegiance? And Legislator Calamus will lead us in the invocation, please.
Heavenly Father, we humbly invite your presence to guide our hearts, minds, and actions in everything we do. And we also lift up all the children returning to school, the young adults embarking on their college journey for the first time. Bless them with wisdom, courage, and safety. Surround them with your protection and grace as they grow and learn. And we ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tonight, we have a public hearing on the amended local law regulating and permitting special events on county roads, trails, or other county property and on any town road and property where the town has opted in. Is there anyone here that would like to comment on that? Yes, ma'am. Would you come up to the podium and state your name?
Hi, my name's Nicole Delash. I live down on Water Street in Martinsburg. I've just recently found out about the road opening up to the UTVs. I was a little startled by that, that it wasn't already, given the amount of traffic that's already on that road. It's a lot. I understand that my sole purpose tonight is just to state my opposition to it. My home is very, very close to this road. It's a quiet secondary road, used to be. There's a lot of accidents there in the wintertime, going down that corner from the courthouse, the municipal building, down. We regularly watch and pull out vehicles throughout the wintertime because they do not catch that curve and they're hitting the guardrail. There's lots of parts and pieces over the embankment. There's going to be problems with this much traffic down there with UTVs going both ways. At the very least, could it be taken into consideration to please make that road a one-way? Try to make it a little safer. I also have a severely autistic, non-communicative son. Generally never out of arm's length. Things happen. He doesn't respond quickly, will not talk, will not answer. We need to rethink this. I know that that's a quiet road. I don't think anybody here would really like that on their road. I don't wish to live on the UTV trail. I enjoy them. I have them. My family, my friends, they're a lot of fun. I just don't want to live on the trail. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. You're talking about a different issue than what this public hearing is. This hearing is on, well, we have an event law requiring anyone that's holding big gatherings to register with the county so that the hospital is aware of it, the police are aware of it. You're talking about a trail that opened. We can probably work on that or work with you on that, but it's a separate issue. And secondly, the ATV trail network closes the Monday after Columbus Day in October. So there would not be any ATV. Are you talking about snow sled traffic in the wintertime?
It sounds like it would be year-round. If they're opening it up for that, that's my concern, and I apologize for being misinformed on what the purpose of this meeting was tonight. I apologize.
Well, is it helpful that the ATV trail system closes in October so that they wouldn't be using it in the wintertime?
We still have the sleds all winter long, so
So
it
it's snowmobiles as well.
everything. Yeah.
Okay.
We have a lot of little kids, grandkids that play on that street. And maybe they shouldn't. There are parks. But I'm just so afraid with these ATVs and what I've seen time and time and time. There's so many near misses and so many times that we're pulling people out because they're going too fast. That curve can't be caught. It's too slick.
I think that's a 15-mile-an-hour zone, Jackie? Okay,
No, I think
it's a Okay.
30 to 25.
I don't know for.
okay. Well, we'll check into it.
Thank you.
We heard you.
Appreciate it.
Any other comments? We'll leave that open for a few minutes and we will move to the August 5th board meeting minutes have been distributed and they stand approved if there are no amendments. Next is privilege of the floor. Is there anyone here that would like to make any comments in general under privilege of the floor? Report of the Finance and Rules Committee per Rule 6, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Finance and Rules Committee has met, and they recommend to waive rules to act upon late resolutions.
Someone like to make a motion? Jessica, second by Herb. Any discussion? All in favor? Anyone opposed? Carries. Clerk of the Board report, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do not have anything to report on tonight.
Thank you. We'll move to standing committee reports with Finance and Rules, Legislator Osborne.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to report that the Lewis County Planning and Community Development partnered with the Tug Hill Commission, Northern New York Community Foundation, and Naturally Lewis to launch a nonprofit boot camp series aimed at providing tools and resources to current and future board members to ensure their success. Session 1 will be held on Thursday, October 2nd at the Lewis County JCC Education Center from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. and will be getting started and growing your nonprofit. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any questions for Tom? If not, we'll move to General Services Committee with Legislator Moreham.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is just a reminder to the board that this Friday, September 5th, is the first annual Lewis County OHV Trail Ride. If you would like to attend and haven't let Cassandra Mosier know, please do so by Friday. The Lewis County ATV Trail System will be officially closed on Tuesday, October 14th, the day after Columbus Day for the season. Area J, Bald Mountain closed on August 31st. Area F, Great Law and West Leiden will be closed starting September 12th. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Andrea? So I stand corrected. I had the date wrong. And we'll move to Health and Human Services with Legislator Moser.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Lewis County Youth Bureau would like to remind everyone about the upcoming 2025 National Night Out, which is being held at the Lewis County Fairgrounds on Friday, September 5th from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. There's free parking and admission, meet and greet with local law enforcement officers, demonstration of canine, helicopter landing, drones, and more. Raffle giveaway, dunk tape, community resource tables, and every attendee gets one complimentary hot dog and drink. Lewis County Office for the Aging is holding the annual Fall Fest and public hearing period on Friday, September 26th. There will be vendors on site and Lewis County Public Health will be there for a vaccination clinic. If you're planning on attending the meal, please make sure to RSVP by calling 315-376-5300. September is National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Throughout the month, the county will be sharing valuable information on their Facebook page about the efforts of the Lewis County Suicide Prevention Coalition to reduce stigma and raise awareness of local resources. If you or someone you know is in a crisis, remember that free support is available 24/7, 365 days a year by calling 315-405-0696. Additionally, if you or someone you know has recently been impacted by the sudden or traumatic loss, such as death by suicide, the Lewis County Traumatic Loss Team is here for your help. You can reach them at 315-376-9735. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any questions for Jess? We'll move to Legislator Nortz, who's our board rep on the Hospital Board of Managers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Board of Managers met on August 27th. At that time, the CFO presented a presentation. There was a gain of $129,000 versus a budgeted gain of $433,000 for the month of July. Year to date, the loss is $1.7 million versus a budgeted loss of $319,000. Acute admissions were at 74, 14% below budget. Observations were at 86 or 34% above budget. Total ER visits were 1,170 or 2% above budget. Outpatient visits were 6,289 or 9% below budget. The skilled nursing facility occupancy was below budget for the month. 64%, 8 was the target on that. The physician's office gross was 5.5% less than budget. The largest positive variance occurred in women's health, while the largest negative variance occurred in general surgery and family practice. Clinic gross revenue was 4.2% less than budget. Purchase services were over budget due to traveling nurse staffing. Dr. Poe, podiatrist, will start next week. I'm assuming this week. Is that correct? Okay, he's on his way. The podiatrist will be starting. And for any more information, I'd like to defer to Mr. Kayer.
Thank you. So there were some negatives and some pluses in this month's financial report. We are, in my estimation, doing what we should be doing. We are on target. What gets lost in all of this, the Medicaid supplemental payments have not arrived. And if they had arrived on schedule, we would actually be ahead of budget. The biggest expense that we struggle with right now is the traveling nurses. But we have lots of teams working on, recruitment, pipeline development of future employees and that sort of thing. So when you go down the list, as Legislator Nortz did, you might be wondering. So it's with that as my introductory comment. If you have any questions about the financial position, please ask me. And we have a strong financial position. And considering the year we've been working through on a year-to-date basis, satisfied, if you will. And once the Medicaid supplemental payments are made, then we will have met our targets. Any questions on the budget or the operations, financially speaking? Okay. So I would just add to the report, the Board of Managers, I had a presentation before the Board of Managers talking about the Comfort Care House, and they continue to be supportive and moving forward. A few minutes ago, I talked about pipeline or developing future employees. As you might remember, we had an LPN program. We started with BOCES that was housed at the Sackett Technical Center. And there was also a program happening at the same time in Watertown at their BOCES Center. We graduated 10 LPNs. What I want to highlight is their tuition was 100% covered by the Caring Gene Grant, which we applied for. And a week or two ago, I was notified that we have received a grant to cover the rebuild of the lab and all of the supplies needed to run a program. So this entire program has been funded from outside sources. So that's pretty exciting. The second class is starting later this month. Um, Again, the investments have already been made in the space. We will have Caring Gene grant money for this class, and there will be enough resource for a class next September. And we're taking a similar approach with the CNA program. We have to find a way to grow our own in Lewis County, and it starts best if the students have a Lewis County address because they're likely to stay. So that's where we are on that. Provided the board an update there. I also did a presentation on 7 questions health system CEOs and trustees are grappling with. And it relates to the HR 1 or the Big Beautiful Act. As I reported to you before, in 2025, there will be no impact. 2026, there really isn't an impact. There will be some changes in 2027. However, there are days 2027 sounds far away, but it really isn't. So we have to begin the process, we being the team at the health system and the board of managers, thinking about what are the things that we need to be mindful of as we prepare for 2027. And so that process began at our last board meeting. So with that, do you have any questions for me? All right.
Thank you, Mr. Kayer. And we will go back to Legislator Nortz with a report on the Fort Drum Regional Liaison Organization.
Yeah, better known now as Advocate Drum. They contacted us. They've been around for almost 40 years. It's hard to believe the Fort Drum has been there almost that long. They came up with a strategic plan in 2016, and they're looking to update it. In the process of updating it, they wanted to have listening session with all 3 counties, St. Lawrence, Jefferson, and Lewis. We were the fortunate ones. They started with us. Tim Hunt was here, Larry, Tom Kalmus, myself, and members from Advocate Drum. We're kind of fortunate in a way that the CEO of Advocate Drum has moved to Krogan. So we have and he's also married to a woman from Lowville. So that's also another plus for us. But during this session, several areas were brought up, one of which was communications, and this is going to be part of it. I sit on the board as a representative of this assembly here of the Advocate Drum, and some of the things that they have brought up that would be interesting in the future and be looking into is expanding our integration of 911, because apparently 911 from the outside has trouble communicating with 911 inside of the base because of security reasons. Looking to update that and get that straightened around. Childcare was another thing that we would definitely like to support them with childcare. As we open up areas here of childcare, we have potential to bring people from Drum who are off base or on base for childcare as well. Potential shuttle service for the county events like our fair and cream cheese festival. Have a shuttle bus for the people on Fort Drum to be able to come down, the Army personnel. Also, too, I cannot over exaggerate or say how excited I am about this Alpine Express. The planning department has gone in big and put in and applied for 3 or 4 buses, Cassandra? Okay, well, there's going to be enough there that they asked us to set up the on-post bus run for the dependents on post. So this is something that's going to help them out tremendously. It's going to be September 22nd should be the initial run on that.
Yep.
And all this is part of the dialogue that we had with them. Another discussion that was brought up was the potential for masks. I don't know, you remember a few years ago that the Army actually provided military assistance to traffic with the airlift. Well, right now with the private companies doing it, their hands are sort of tied. They're looking into ways that if we needed them, that we could use them as well. So is there anything else that I've forgotten, Tim, that you can think of right offhand? So that's basically it. So hopefully we'll have a report like that, an update. I mean, there are partners, Drum is a big influence in the North Country. My neighbors from Fort Drum, we all have somebody who we know from Fort Drum. So let's, do what we can to support them and help them with any way we can. I'm done.
Any questions for Vinny? Thank you, Vinny. County manager report with Mr. Hunt.
First thing I'd like to do is introduce Joanne Witt, the new executive director of Naturally Lewis. Joanne, if you'd like to come up and say hello, just so everybody can put a face to a name. We're going to make her come to the committee meeting so you guys can really ask her a lot of tough questions, but we'll just say hello tonight.
Hi, I'm Joanne. It's nice to meet all of you. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to meeting with everybody. I actually would like to speak at another time with Mr. Nortz because I was at an outside meeting where they talked about daycare for Fort Drum. So I'll contact you in a day or so about that. Okay? Does anybody have any questions for me right now? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. Second of all, I'd like to give you an update. Jerry reminded me on the Comfort Care situation. Cassie had forwarded me an email today where the only way they can transfer that house is through legislative action. I forwarded that email on to Senator Walzig's office and Assemblyman Blankenbush today, and they've been all over it, as well as the governor's office. So they're working on whatever legislation they need to do to try to get that transferred as soon as possible. So just to give you a little update. Unfortunately, because it is going to have to go the legislative route, it will be a slower process. They won't be back in session until January. So we'll see what we can get done. They did say there is a potential to go through ESD, and they're trying to figure that out right now, maybe transferring it to ESD and then to the county. But so we're working on it. The other thing I wanted to update you is Larry and I got to take a trip last week to Albany. We met with the Deputy Commissioner of Energy for the governor's office. We wanted to have a conversation about two issues. One is NYPA ownership of green energy projects, and the other one was the cash flow model that has passed the Assembly and Senate, reducing the tax assessed value of green energy projects. Just so that everyone's aware, NYPA has released an updated strategic plan, and in that plan is the AES solar project in Krogan, also the Deer River Wind project, which they told us they would not be doing wind, but wind is now part of it, and the Hydrostore project in Krogan. All of those are in that plan as 51% ownership by NYPA, which could dramatically affect the tax levy. Larry and I pled our case, and the answer we got at this point was just trust us. We'll pay you something. We don't know what, and we don't know how that looks, but just trust us. It'll be fine. We kind of impressed upon them that that was probably not going to fly well with the community, and that really, if they want the communities to support these, they have to make sure that it's clear in writing what the communities can expect for a tax benefit. I think it was productive. They didn't have any answers, but I think they did hear us that this is a real problem that they created, and they're trying to figure out how to fix it. So that is my report.
Any questions for Tim? Thank you, Tim. We'll move to County Treasurer report with Mr. Berkler.
Thank you very much. You have my written report. A couple of highlights as usual. Our sales tax receipts continue to trend relatively well this year. We have seen a little bit of a decline over the last month or so, but still quite a bit ahead of last year. So hopefully that will continue for the remaining months of 2025. On our health fund, we have seen a decline in the balance of that fund over the last 3 to 4 months. Our claims activity has been up. Really not something we control, but we can control. So we will continue to keep an eye on that. I did note in my written report that we are expecting our New York State Shared Service funding. I've told our consultants at GKG not to hold their breath, so I will continue to say that because we had an email about 2 weeks ago that we should see the payment soon. 2 weeks have gone by, so it will come, but let's not hold our breath. And we have had a health advisory committee. I think you've been aware of that. That is a larger group to include our county and hospital management, our CSCA and other bargaining unit representatives, and then other employees, other participants in the plan. They have been meeting monthly since July. I think they've made some good progress, had some good discussions in those 3 meetings. They have 3 or 4 areas that they intend to focus on to see what kind of changes could be made in the plan. So no progress yet, but definitely some good discussion. And I think there are some areas there that we will see if we can make some progress. I think that's all for today. If there's any other questions, I'll do my best to answer them.
Thank you, Eric. Back to the public hearing. Is there anyone here that would like to comment on the amended local law regulating permitting special events on county roads, trails, or other county property and on any town road or property where the town has opted in? Seeing no interest, we will now close that public hearing and move to report of the Finance and Rules Committee per Rule 7, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Finance and Rules Committee reports that they have examined the claims presented for payment in the total amount of $3,410,559.23 and recommend that they be audited and allowed for the amounts claimed.
Someone would like to move that, please? Tom Kalmus, second by Andrea. Any discussion? All in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Carries. Consent resolutions. We are pulling 172, 176, 181, and 183 to be voted on individually. Are there any others that anyone would like to vote individually? If not, would someone like to make a motion to pass the remaining slate as a consent packet? Jeff, second by Tom Osborne. Discussion. All in favor? Anyone opposed? And the consent packet carries. And we'll go back to 172.
Resolution number 172 is auditing and allowing claims in the amount of $3,410,559.23.
Moved by Vince, second by Herb. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I have to recuse myself for payments that were based or paid to me and based upon vouchers that I approved.
Please note that in the record. And this is a roll call.
Legislator Frost.
Yes.
Legislator Mosher abstained. Legislator Nortz.
Yes.
Legislator Leviker.
Yes.
Legislator Osborne.
Yes.
Legislator Calamus.
Yes.
Legislator Leindecker.
Yes.
Legislator Morahan.
Yes.
Legislator Nellenbach.
Yes.
And Legislator Dahlhoff.
Yes.
Resolution number 176 is a resolution increasing taxes on sales and uses of tangible personal property and of certain services on occupancy of hotel rooms and on amusement charges pursuant to Article 29 of the tax law of the state of New York.
Someone would like to move that, please? Herb, I have a second. Andrea? Discussion. So I would like to make a comment that this is not a new tax. This is the continuation of the 4% sales tax that's been in the county for, I have no idea how many years at this point. Anyways, I just want to clear up any confusion. This is not new. It's a continuation, and along that line, it remains the same. Anyone else have any other comments? All in favor? Anyone opposed? Carries.
Resolution number 181 is resolution authorizing the sale of former Lions Falls School property, 6832 McAlpine Street of Lions Falls, New York, to Top View Apartments, Lewis LLC for apartment housing development.
Moved by Tom Kalmus, second by Jeff. Discussion. This school building has been trying to, well, I'd say the village has been trying to redevelop this thing for probably 40 years. I can remember back in the middle 1980s, I think it was, that we had a almost brokered a deal with Catholic Charities and the current owner, and the Catholic Charities was going to turn it into apartments back then. So they couldn't meet financially, and it fell into disuse, and it's been owned by several individuals since, private ownership, where it's continued to deteriorate. And up until at this point, with this resolution, we are finally transferring it to someone that might actually make that happen. And I wanted to just give a big thank you to Cassie Buell and her planning department and Joan McNichol for the perseverance of making this happen, and all the other ones that I might not have mentioned. It's truly appreciated, and thank you. All in favor?
This is a roll call.
What's the roll call? Sorry.
Legislator Calamus,
Yes.
Legislator Nortz,
Yes.
Legislator Lindecker,
Yes.
Legislator Osborne,
Yes.
Legislator Levicker,
Yes.
Legislator Moorhan,
Yes.
Legislator Nellenbach,
Yes.
Legislator Frost,
Yes.
Legislator Mosher,
Yes.
and Legislator Dahlhoff.
Yes.
Resolution number 183 is a resolution adopting and otherwise treating local law number 6-2025. And this is the local law that we had the public hearing on.
Someone like to move it? Andrea, second by Josh. Any discussion? And this is a roll call.
Legislator Osborne,
Yes.
Legislator Frost,
Yes.
Legislator Nellenbach,
Yes.
Legislator Calamus,
Yes.
Legislator Levicker,
Yes.
Legislator Mosher,
Yes.
Legislator Moorhan,
Yes.
Legislator Lindecker,
Yes.
Legislator Nortz,
Yes.
and Legislator Dahlhoff.
Yes. And that's the end of the resolutions. Do we have any other business that anyone would like to bring forth? Motion to adjourn. Jeff, second by Tom Osborne. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? We are adjourned.
Mom, Dad, it's 20th anniversary tomorrow.